Dear viewers, today I'd like to share with you some fascinating news from the Netherlands that reveals how modern European monarchies are preparing their heirs for future leadership. The story I'm about to tell you began with a simple summer photo session, but it ended up giving us a much deeper look into the life and plans of one of the most interesting young princesses in Europe. Princess Amalia of the Netherlands, who is just 21 years old, recently made a decision that surprised many royal watchers. After completing her university program in politics, psychology, law, and economics at the University of Amsterdam, she's not only continuing her studies in law, but has also decided to join the military. Just imagine, the future Queen of the Netherlands will undergo the same military training as regular citizens. This decision is especially intriguing when you consider that in the Netherlands, the monarch hasn't been the commander-in-chief of the armed forces for nearly 2 centuries. Since the year 1848, that role has officially belonged to the government, meaning Amalia technically doesn't need military training to fulfill her future duties. But just like her father, King Willem-Alexander, she understands the importance of the connection between the crown and the armed forces. What makes this story even more exciting is that Amalia is joining an entire generation of European princesses who are undergoing military training. Princess Leonor of Spain, future Queen Elizabeth of Belgium, and Princess Ingrid of Norway, all of them understand that modern leadership requires more than just diplomacy. It also demands a real understanding of how their country's security institutions function. Amalia will be participating in the Defensity College program for the next 2 years while simultaneously studying Dutch law. This is a program designed for working students who train to become military reservists. Just picture it: princess studying law in the morning and marching in formation in the afternoon. However, she'll only be able to start once she has fully recovered from a recent injury. That injury happened in quite an ordinary way. Amalia fell off a horse and broke her arm. She told reporters that she's already counting the days until she can ride again. Her love for horseback riding, by the way, is something she shares with many members of other European royal families, including Princess Anne. It's also interesting to observe the relationship between the three sisters in the Dutch royal family. Amalia speaks with particular warmth about her youngest sister, Ariane, who recently turned 18 and made her first public appearance in front of the press. Suddenly, she became a real woman, the older sister noted with pride. The middle sister, Alexia, who's studying in London, also praised Ariane, calling her one of the kindest people she knows. The family dynamic in the home of King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima feels surprisingly natural. Despite their royal status, they're, above all, parents who watch their daughters grow up with pride. Alexia is studying in London, Ariane just completed an international baccalaureate program in Italy, and Amalia, despite her official duties, remains above all the eldest sister, looking after her younger siblings. One especially touching chapter in Amalia's story was the time she had to leave the Netherlands. Imagine being a princess but unable to freely live in your own country. She spent a whole year in Madrid, continuing her studies remotely and, just as importantly, experiencing what it means to live like a regular person. King Felipe and Queen Letizia welcomed her as if she were one of their own, and the Dutch royal family still expresses deep gratitude for their hospitality. That experience undoubtedly shaped Amalia's character. She learned what it means to live away from home, adapt to a new culture, and still stay connected to her roots. It's the kind of experience that's truly invaluable for someone who will one day represent her country on the world stage. Now that Amalia is gradually returning to full public life, we're seeing her take on a more prominent role in official events. Recently, she participated in a NATO reception where she met with 45 heads of state and government. That's some serious diplomatic training for a young princess. As for the family's near future plans, After the traditional summer photo session, they'll head off for a holiday in Greece, where they own a villa. It'll actually be their fifth vacation this year. In April, they traveled to Argentina to visit Queen Maxima's mother. All that's left is to wish Princess Amalia a successful military experience and a speedy recovery so she can return to her beloved horseback riding. This is who she is, modern Princess Amalia. Brave, determined, deeply thoughtful, and at the same time very down to earth. What stands out in everything she does is not just a sense of duty, but a personal choice to learn, to grow, and to serve her country. She shows us that being an heir to the throne today is not about crowns and balls, but about being ready to take on responsibility, to build bridges between tradition and modern life, and to remain human in the process. And honestly, it's truly inspiring to follow the path of such young leaders. Thank you so much for joining me today, dear viewers. If you're interested in the lives of Europe's princesses, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any new episodes.